really liked making that video the other time, so which was actually 2 days ago. And I thought, why not do it for Melamakarona as well, since I'm going to make them for my family. I've got most of the ingredients all measured out. It's not an easy task actually. I thought it'd be easier to do a YouTube video, but it's hard. So my hat's off to all the people that do it. About a cupful of butter. I've got 1 cup of olive oil. I have 1 cup of sugar, 1 kilo of self-raising flour, a small spoonful of cinnamon it says here, but I always put more. I'm a believer in more, so I'm going to put a little bit extra. Then half a teaspoon of clove, that's okay because it's a strong flavour. And I'm going to get the peel from 2 oranges, and I've got a little grater. I thought I was organised, but... and I love this one. It's a really good tool. I use it for a lot of things. So especially making tzatziki, that's really good. It makes the garlic really fine. So we need the peel of 2 oranges grated, 1 cup of strained yogurt. This is a recipe I've done a long time ago, and I've just pulled it out again to have a go at making it this year. And 1 cup of walnuts finely ground. I've just ground it in the mixer. I like it smooth, I don't like it chunky. You might want it chunky. Make it a little bit more chunkier pieces. It's up to you. At the end of the day, cooking's about what you like. So if you want it a specific way, you make it your way. And generally what they do in Greece, they have, they just get a utensil with like a crisscross effect, or if you have a grater. So cleaned up a little bit, and I'm just at the point where I'm going to start rolling my Melamakarona. I like them nice and neat and not too big, so just enough. I don't know if you can see that. The shadows sort of, because I'm filming from my cupboard, I'm really not doing a good job here, but I use what I have. So I'm going to do that. Now, I just got one of these out, and you can try the different sizes that you like. So generally, if you just roll it, you'll get like a little dotted pattern on top. So once you can get them all uniform and nice, and it really is a shiny mixture. Now, all I did with this from this recipe is add juice from 1 orange, and I just hand squeezed it with, you know, Jamie Oliver style in my hand, make sure I caught the seeds into the bowl, and that was enough moisture. So somewhere along the lines I didn't have it right with the moisture, whether I needed more yogurt, I wasn't sure, but I thought I'd just be on the safe side and just add orange juice, and that seems to work. So we'll see once it's baked what happens. So I've made them, and I've got 1 lot coming out of the oven now. So there's about 20 to a tray. They're going to get really, really big. So when I pull out the tray, you'll be able to see how big they actually get. So don't be tempted to put too many on a tray. So that has just come out of the tray. So they actually do get quite big compared to the... You might be able to see when I pick one up. They double in size pretty much. So yeah. So we're just going to pop another tray in. Put this one there to cool. Always cool them in the tray. Don't be tempted to tip them out straight away. And those ones, they were baked for about 25 minutes. So they're nice and golden. I was worried that they're a bit light on the tray, but they do go dark. And then I think once you dip them in the honey, they'll get darker and they'll be all syrupy. So I'm just putting in the sugar ready for the syrup into the saucepan. So I've already put 2 cups in there. So I'm going to put on the stove to boil now that they're starting to cook. So when they cool down, it's always good to have one hot and one cold. So the syrup will be hot and the honey cakes will be, or the melamakarona will be cold or room temperature. So 1 more cup. So that's 4 cups of sugar. And we're going to put 1 cup of honey at the very end when the syrup is boiled down, just so we don't lose any of the flavours of the honey. Because sometimes we can really cook it out and we don't want to cook the goodness out of it. So after putting 4 cups of sugar, and I'm just using just a normal cup from the cupboard. Like I said, just use measurements to what you have. If you're using a cup like this, use it all the way through. If you're using a measuring cup, use that all the way through. So the ingredients are even, pretty much. Yeah, so I'm just going to put in the water now, and then I'm going to set that to boil. Yeah, I'll be back in a minute. And that one makes 3. So 3 cups of water, 4 cups of sugar. I'm going to put that on to boil. We'll put a bit of lemon juice in there, maybe half a lemon. It's always nice to cut the rind as well of the lemon, or an orange if you have it, and throw that in there as well. Just gives it a really nice flavour. And I always like to put a cinnamon stick in there as well. So yeah, try that. So I'm going to put this on the stove to boil. Usually you boil it to half on just a light simmer. I don't mix it, I let it do its own thing. And then at the very end we'll add the honey. So I have started dipping them into the honey, into the syrup that I made. So these ones are all done, dipped, and I've put a bit of crushed walnuts on top. So we're going to head over here and then just put, it's a little bit difficult to do this and hold the camera, so I'm really sorry, but yeah. So we just toss them in upside down, and I've got the stove on the lowest setting just to keep it hot. So only fit in as many as fit in the pot, because we're going to be able to, we're going to need to turn them. Generally it's about probably 30 seconds on each side. I don't count, I just sort of, when I think they've sucked up enough. we just flip them. Get the other side all syrupy as well, so it comes in from all sides. So I'm just going to move these out because I'm going to pop them back onto the tray. And that's probably about ready now. Just a bit of a strain. And then I'm just popping them back on the tray. So all we're going to do here is, in the meantime, I'm just going to put in a few more. So we just put them in upside down, just as many as we can fit in the pot. You've got to remember that depending on how many you've made, you've got to make sure you have enough syrup. So if you need to make a little bit more, make a little bit more. So what we're going to do here, while they're still nice and hot, all I'm going to do is get some of my crushed and just pop it on top. Crushed walnuts. Couldn't stop eating those before, they're so yummy. And while the honey is still on them, on the surface, because it'll just act like a bit of a glue. It tastes so yummy when you take a mouthful with the nuts. And then basically once these are all done, you just pop them in a container. You can put them in the fridge if you want. They can be out of the fridge for a couple of days, depending on the weather. Right now we're in really rainy weather. So it's, I don't know if you can see it, but it's raining outside. It's our wet season. And yeah, so it's probably a good idea to put them in the fridge if you're in an area like ours where it gets quite hot and humid. Otherwise they will go moldy. So they turned out really good actually. I'm really happy with them. Although from the recipe I had to add in a little bit of orange juice just to get it all to a good consistency. It really worked out well. They taste really, really nice, very Christmassy. So I'm really happy with those.